This is the one with nice warriors,
a reverse Brexit,
a one-eyed trouser snake,
a head in a box,
and the son of the second Doctor.
It's called The Curse of Peladon. Here we go. We're embarking on a voyage all through time and all through space,
countering Daleks, Talon, Ood, and the Cybertronic race.
Sontarans look like taters, and Silurians all have wonky scales.
And the Doctor has a TARDIS, we're reviewing all his tales. Who back when? Reviewing all of who there is. Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please.
Episode by episode, we're trudging down this temporal road. Come join us on this odyssey. What other choice could there be than Who back when?
Who back when?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to C061 of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Doc Pass.
Yeah, every time. That other angelic voice you hear is Ponkin. Say hello.
Don't tell me what to do. Hello, podcast land.
And I'm Nick O'Leary.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing? So, yeah, as you've already heard, we're reviewing The Curse of Peladon, which we've been waiting to for ages.
Yes, this is a legendary one. This is one that, I mean, that I had heard the title even before we started this podcast.
Which, in my head, means that I've basically made the serial, like, a bunch of times. I made, like, what is the curse of Peladon? What is Peladon? What is, like, is it a person that's cursed? Is the curse, like, some generational thing? Like, all these thoughts.
Who's Peladon?
Now,
what is Peladon? And where is Peladon?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are they cursed?
And there's a sequel to this serial as well, which may also have reinforced just the popularity of this title. There's, I want to say, The Monster of Peladon.
That might be right.
Next season.
Ooh.
Coming up, dude.
Right. I guess without any further ado, then we should get in a bite-sized chunk of Who.
Let's do that. Time for us to synopsize,
clarify and summarize.
So take a view
and grab a brew
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of Who. Bite-sized chunk of Who.
Having sort of repaired the TARDIS, the third Doctor and his companion Jo Grant embark on a journey to the planet of Peladon in the year 3885. There, King Peladon is just about to join the European Union, aka the Galactic Federation, and has been joined by delegates from all around the cosmos.
Posing as the delegates from Earth, Doc and Jo join the diplomatic talks when suddenly the legendary Curse of Peladon seems to become a reality. A horned beast is attacking members of the court and threatening the delegates, thus throwing the Peladon's admission into the Galactic Federation into jeopardy.
Hilarity ensues. Beast go over.
You are welcome.
Aren't you just? Holy smokes and cheesecakes. Where do you want to start? I know where I want to start. Where do you want to start? I know where I want to start. Where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with your inevitable question.
Okay. What did you think of Skipper the Eye Child?
What did you think?
Wow. Skipper the Eye Child, Alpha Centauri, the delegate from Alpha Centauri.
Well, no, okay, here's the thing, real quick. That was confusing for me.
Okay.
Are they the delegate from Alpha Centauri?
Whose name is also Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri. I guess confusing. Like back in the Alpha Centauri system, is everyone just called Alpha Centauri?
Very possibly. Very possibly. I don't know, man.
They just lose their shit.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
When Proxima Centauri turns up to the cookout.
Wait. We didn't sign up for this. Oh, God, the voice. So, Skipper the Eye Child. First off, we very recently saw Skipper the Eye Child on Doctor Who, in New Who.
In
Queen of Mars.
Yeah.
Is it called Queen of Mars?
Yeah, it's Queen of Mars.
With Capaldi. Bing bong, future Ponkin here. That would be Empress of Mars, not Queen of Mars. Bing bong. That's the introduction of the Ice Warriors to Alpha Centauri at the very end of Queen of Mars. Wonderful, right? And now we finally get to see them.
So is that the beginning of the Galactic Federation?
That's like the end of Queen of Mars is like is a prequel to this episode or serial. Mind blown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, this is a note that I saw on Wikipedia or TARDIS Wiki or else. The one of the directing notes to the voice actor for Alpha Centauri was to act like a gay civil servant.
What?
Not my words.
Are you serious?
The director. Now,
what the fuck? Why?
Wait,
what is that? What kind of directing is that?
I have zero idea. Because if someone had given me that direction, I'd be like, hey.
I guess I need to inhale a lot of helium and not be offended by this.
I would just be like, hi, I'm a civil servant named Craig. There's no real difference here between all the other civil servants.
I only read one piece of trivia about... I'm not going to stop calling this thing Skipper the Eye Child. I only read one piece of trivia about this, and this is from IMDb. I copy-pasted it. I'm going to read it out verbatim. Alpha Centauri's phallic resemblance was not lost on the crew. Costume designer Barbara Lane elected to outfit Centauri in a yellow cloak to mask the body shape. End quote.
Wow.
It is genuinely a one-eyed trouser snake. It is a 6-armed dick. That's wonderful. The voice is the only thing that I hate about it.
I don't think I hate the voice.
Oh, really?
I mean...
Oh, it's so grating.
It was incredibly grating, but, like, the commitment to it. So, conceptually, I liked the idea of a alien that wasn't sonically pleasing, because, like, why would all aliens speak in a frequency that would make sense to us?
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But, I mean, this thing is already speaking English. so suspension of disbelief. This thing is already speaking English. Let's just say it's running its voice through some sort of translator. Let's just say that or whatever. Or it's learned to speak English. Doesn't matter. It is such an annoying voice that they even address it in this serial.
Yeah, well...
Shall we already call a soundbite? This is a soundbite from episode 4, 11 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Arcturus was an unattractive person, Princess. But I think I preferred his cold logic to the hysteria of Centauri.
Centauri, stop it.
Centauri!
Centauri, stop it!
For a second, I thought I'd done something wrong, like I had my phone on and my, the DVD.
Calibered your DVD incorrectly.
Yeah, something. Well, because I was like, hang on, what the fuck is going? Why is everyone talking at the same time? This is the least professional thing. But no, actually, it was very good. Actually, it did amp up the annoyingness of Alpha Centauri for the dramatic effect that I think was trying to be achieved. I'm a big fan of Alpha Centauri.
I'm a huge fan of Alpha Centauri. Huge fan. But having now watched 2 different versions of Day of the Daleks, I'm in favour of there being a special edition of Curse of Peladon where everything is exactly the same except they redub Centauri with Mr. T.
With James Earl Jones.
Yes, exactly. I am a giant dick with 6 arms. Welcome to the European Union.
Good evening. I am the delegate from Alpha Centauri.
Way better. Way better.
My name is Mufasa.
Yeah. Actually, there's another thing as well that kind of sprang to mind. There's a film with Brooke Shields and Alex Winter. Called
Why?
It's called Freak or Freaked or Freaks or whatever. It's one of these like horrendously offensive, not funny at all, body-shaming comedies of the 90s.
Right.
It's about a freak show or like a circus or whatever, and there are 2 or 3 giant eye creatures. Just like, I've seen this before. I have definitely seen this before, and you're going to be friends with Billis Preston Esquire. Anyway, Randy Quaid is in it as well.
Randy Quaid.
And Mr. T. I swear to God, Mr. T is the bearded lady. Anyway, I digress.
We need to get off this. I'm looking for a fucking out. I just keep smiling at you like, cool, man. I wouldn't want to talk about fucking Brooke Shields. I've got a whole other podcast about Brooke Shields.
Fine, let's return to Skipper the Eye Child. Henceforth, that's it.
What about the brain in the box? Arcturus? Yeah.
Design-wise, really reminded me of the android in Voyage of the Damned in New Who. Do you remember? Like a head in a box under glass and whatever. Basically, it's like Ambassador Kosh married an aquarium because it's like it spritzes water on him and stuff.
I particularly like how that dude tries to display his race's ability to defend himself.
How is that? He's a diplomat.
He's just like, yeah, I'm a diplomat, but also look at my wang, right? Now look at my wang destroy that urn. On my planet.
And King Peladon goes like, that used to house my grandmother, but thank you.
Thank you for making yet more ashes. Fuck that pot in particular.
Yeah, no, it's not exactly the most brilliant demonstration of diplomacy that we see in this serial.
Also, I don't understand. So the cliffhanger for episode 3 is him turning up with his cock gun.
Wait, because we have the fight scene with Grun,
which we'll talk about at length.
Oh, I have to.
But so Head in a Jar turns up with his cock gun.
Yeah.
fires it.
Yeah, laser dicks the two companions. Boom, end of episode. Whom did he hit? What happened?
And in the
Wait. Is that actually the cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Or do we also get to see, is part of the cliffhanger also lead Ice Warrior,
I'm gonna,
unholsters his laser?
I'm going to level with you, Leon.
Hit
I
me.
may not have been paying attention. It might just be... all I remember was the dick gun coming out, and then it sort of ending.
Now, is it a dick gun, or is it like a... I mean, do you think his dick can also pick up, HBO? Because it really... Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Well, no, so again, I remember being slightly confused at the beginning of episode 4. Who did he laser?
He was going to laser. I don't think he lasers anyone.
He makes the fucking noise.
Oh, yeah. But so maybe he misses because Nice Warrior number 1 fires a massive laser at him. And, oh, wait, hang on. Is that what happens? Yeah, that's what happens. And then the priest, not at all suspiciously, walks away in a huff. I think that's what happens. And no one goes, so it turns out one of the delegates was a terrorist.
Yeah.
We are here on a mission of peace, by the way. 2 of the peacemakers just lasered each other.
Okay, other real quick.
Yeah, okay.
How big is this Galactic Federation, do you think?
Oh, it's 3 planets. No, it's 4, because Earth is also there.
There's 3 planets, and the history of the Galactic Federation has just been making the rules for its delegation. Like, that's its whole fucking purpose. Why is there so much? So, obviously, clearly, we sort of said in the intro that this is an allegory for Britain joining the EEC.
Yeah.
Which is fucking ironic in 2017.
As we are Brexiting.
Oh,
God damn
so
it.
sad.
It's so sad. Well, at least we have the Curse of Peladon. Maybe we could send a copy of the DVD to, Theresa May. Let her be inspired.
Just go, in this scenario.
In this scenario, who do you think you are, Theresa May?
Jesus. Okay. I don't even know. Did you want to talk about that allegory, or were you done with it?
No, I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, not England, a.k.a. Peladon, is about to join a giant federation.
And there's lots of infighting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Done.
And there are some people who are for it and some people who are against it.
Roughly 52% of the characters are for joining the Galactic Federation.
Oh, so sad.
Fuck!
Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
It's not fine at all, but it's fine. It's fine.
Sure.
It's fine.
Okay. Let's talk about how beautiful the king is.
Oh, you mean the guy who...
So we were having a discussion with some other Whovians on Facebook the other day, and we sort of pulled up a thumbnail of the King of Peladon.
Yes.
And I like...
Whose name is King Peladon, by the way?
King Peladon.
Yeah.
Great name. Alpha Centauri, King Peladon. Let's not strain any brain cells. Fuck's sake. Now, I said that he looked like a cross between Bowie and Spike from Buffy.
Yeah.
James Marston? What?
James Marston.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've written down in my notes, King Peladon is like Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. had a transporter accident.
And then someone else posted a very, very interesting screen cap of a young Christopher Walken, which looked very like, from like King of New York.
You know what? I can dig it. Yeah, he looks...
I can dig it.
Yeah, he looks a lot like a young Walken.
Yeah.
He does.
Either way, he's quite clearly a beautiful man.
He is, yeah. I mean, that's where my Eric Donald Jr.
It's the slick back
falls. Yeah, and blonde. No, you're right. Very much a Christopher Walken / Bowie. A gorgeous man. And in fact, you can tell... This is the guy... He's played by Dave Troughton, son of Patrick Troughton, son of the Second Doctor. And we've seen him in... we saw him in Midnights. In New Who. He showed up in Midnights. And...
didn't look as great.
But you can so tell that it's the same guy.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Yeah, he's aged. Obviously, he's aged. That was a few decades ago.
I feel bad about that comment now. Retracted. Cheerfully retracted.
Okay, fine. He so very clearly grew into that man. So that's kind of fun. I think that's really, really fun to see. But aside from that, he looked, from certain angles in certain scenes, he looks a lot like his dad. And that's quite nice as well. Like, you can tell there's a little hint of Patrick Troughton in there.
Let's segue into the love story. Into the how beautiful he is. Is that because he's so beautiful?
Yeah.
Does that make you? Would that make Joe just fall instantly in love with him and wanting to leave her fucking planet behind.
That love story is one of I'm gonna say few beefs I have with the serial. It is completely unfounded.
So I have beef with the. It's kind of like it's like Romeo and Juliet, right? Like where they've known each other 3 days and now they want to fucking murder. Commit double suicide.
Yeah.
It seems like an implausibly small amount of time to make such massive, sweeping
Well, interestingly, someone whom we were talking to on Facebook actually said that there's a very Shakespearean quality to this serial.
That's
so,
real.
yeah, there you go.
But I would also say this is Katie Manning at a fucking height.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Isn't she? She is the heart of this fucking serial.
Yeah. Finally, she gets some agency. And it's interesting because in the beginning, she is such a stereotypical 1970s BBC version of like the girly girl. I mean, she's even presented as a literal princess. And she's in her dress, which is not good for climbing. And she obviously falls for the handsome king. And there isn't much outside of that archetype there. But then she ends up being the true protagonist of the serial. Has so much agency, actually commands it in a way that Pertwee does not, often when he's literally not on screen. Now, she does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Well done, Katie Manning.
Absolutely.
Shall I undo all of that as well a little bit?
Go on.
She's really easy on the eyes.
Fucking hell. Okay, I'm going to double down on this terrible, terrible sexism. Right?
I'm cutting that.
No, I'll double down. No. I'll double down on it. I'm going to say a thing. Well, I feel like I would say this if this was also a male actor, right? I feel like I'm going to say this if this was also a male actor. So Katie Manning now clearly has had some Botoxy lip stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I think you can almost see it in this specific serial. I think her top look looks real different. It doesn't really have any bearing on the story or the ability to tell it. I'm fine with it.
Wait. I don't understand. So wait, hang on. In this serial... Wait, what are you saying? Sorry.
She's had, like, work done to her, top lip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Already back then?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't observe that.
I mean, I don't know. This is speculation, and I've just been looking at Katie Manning's Twitter feed where I'm just saying, and this has zero bearing on a fucking VFX.
Yeah,
an
sure.
observation.
I find that fascinating because, quite frankly, somehow it seems like it's too long ago for that to even have been a thing.
I know, 70s, right?
Inject things into your lips and whatever. Anyway.
But she was great. She was a tour de force.
Yeah, she was. She did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed her interplay with the Ice Warriors. I thought she was... Actually, I liked her interplay with all of the characters, but okay, hang on, sorry. Here's why I'm saying that. I did not like her interplay with King Peladon, because that whole love story is just totally bonkers. It's fucking bananas how abruptly it flowers. It's very similar to... Do you remember in The Daemons, when out of nowhere she goes 0 to, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the Doctor, who continuously and continually offends me in like 5 seconds.
But I would say that in lieu of like time for a relationship to go, which actually most fucking shows don't have, like, so you all often end up with this concatenated like love story.
Sure.
Much shorter than it should be. I think they had real on-screen chemistry.
Yeah, they did. But, okay, so...
You sold it to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they definitely did a good job. I think everyone did a good job in this one, except possibly for Grun. But we'll get to Grun. We'll get to Grun. But, okay, so here's another thing to factor in. Here's another thing to bear in mind. When we first start this episode, or this serial, Jo is on her way to a date with Captain Yates.
Yeah.
She's clearly got a thing on with what's his name, by the way? Something Yates?
Paul.
James Yates? Yeah. Whatever, who cares? So I've written it down somewhere.
That's all right.
I can't find it.
She can do two things.
Mike Yates.
That's fine. I'll see no ring on her finger.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I get it. That's fine. I'm not saying that she's not allowed to, or that it's morally, ambiguous territory. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm thinking is she's dressed up as a princess, as in she's presented as a princess, as just the damsel of this serial. In the beginning, not like already 15 minutes into the serial, that's changed. But then she falls for Peladon, I think, because he's sort of Prince Charming. As in, he is the beautiful young king / Prince Charming character. And if he were, like, say he were a god, they wouldn't have written that in.
Well, also it was serving into the whole, like, political, drama aspect of it, is that also was used as a device to, if you marry me, then there won't be an issue. that there'd be some sort of like, and he had a.
Can you explain that a little bit more to me, though? Because there's one aspect of that.
Can't.
Well, there's one aspect of that subplot that I do not understand. So
As in the one where he says, "If you marry me, everything will be fine." Like,
yeah.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
It's not the War of the Roses. Why would that be?
I don't think. Wait. Does that mean, automatically we're gonna join the Federation and no one's gonna say anything? Is that what he means? I don't know. Okay,
like, if Theresa May fucks like Michelle Barnier or Carl Juncker, like, that, nothing happened.
No, I think you're wrong. I think that means automatically the UK is now part of the EU forever.
It's just part of Denmark.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, sorry, that's how it works. But so, I don't understand why this marriage is... I mean, it's literally just an excuse for him to get into her pants. And B, she says no, and shortly thereafter, everyone, quote-unquote, knows that they're getting married. Why? Do you remember Skipper the Eye-Child tells her, like, oh, well, I mean, I don't really understand this because you're going to get married to Peladon. Now you have to show us your credentials because you're marrying Peladon. It's like, wait, why? But did you think my passport says, yeah, I'm eligible to fuck Peladon? No. I've got another theory for you, or another suggestion. Does it actually really matter if he marries an Earth woman? He is, by his own admission, for some weird reason, half human.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Why is he half human to begin with?
I don't know, because his mum was human. What do you want from me?
I think that's weird.
That's fine.
I think it's super duper weird to make this one character half human for no other... I mean, I think the only reason he's half human is to make him more attractive to Joe. Oh, maybe I'm getting annoyed over nothing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't find that too hackneyed because I don't think that it impacted the plot in such a significant way. Like, it was a thing that kept coming up and whatever, but like, with or without it, the plot basically is essentially the same. Whereas if it was one of those sort of like weird, massive fucking game changers, and we had when that fucking dude was bulletproof for no reason.
I forgot about that guy.
Like, right, Tobias Vaughan.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that, then that would annoy me, but I don't mind. I don't mind at all, really.
Yeah, okay, fine.
What I don't really understand...
Hit me.
...is the whole delegation. So the delegation have come to Peladon to discuss Peladon's future.
Yeah.
I feel... And this is what?
And
the third millennia, or whatever.
3885.
Just do it by email. Video conference, that bad boy.
No.
I feel like more than 3 of you need to... Like, there'll be like a whole civil service and like...
well, I mean, there would have been a fourth one, except she was late. So,
I'm just saying, it's a pretty, they were giving lots of the impressions of bureaucracy, and again, all it jibes at these. Did the people not give a did the writers really hate the EEC?
Maybe this was written / produced by people who were just vehemently against it. Maybe. On the other hand,
they were saying that this is the best thing for you. Join this thing.
And it ends... the happy ending is that Peladon does join the Federation, so actually I take it back. Right? And it's the bad guys that are trying to prevent the entry into the EEC, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I take it back. I think they're like very, very much pro.
But they got all the bureaucracy right. There's a lot of bureaucracy, and that's fair.
Yeah, but you are right, though. Why
is there only fucking 4 of them?
Why are there 4 of them? What are they there to do? Is it like, you know what? Peladon's really on the fence. We're going to send 4 of our most saleable representatives to just hammer this home, to just go like, hey, Peladon, I'm going to sweeten the deal. You see how one of our delegates is dick-shaped? We can make this work for you. You'll get all the resources you need and also 6-hand massage from Alpha Centauri.
I got another thing.
Okay.
So the quasi-omniscience of the Doctor, right, in other iterations, where he knows all of human history.
Yeah.
He knows all of human history.
Oh, yeah.
From literally, like, day dot to, you'd say, well, this is the 5th human empire, whatever, right?
Yeah, sure.
Why doesn't he know at some point that them and the Ice Warriors make peace and they create a little fun federation where the Ice Warriors are proper on the level and cool?
I don't have an answer for you.
Right, that
you're right.
Literally stuck in my craw a little bit. When I sat there, I was like, why don't you know this?
Well, I mean, more importantly, why didn't he know this in Seeds of Death, for example, or, any of the Ice Warrior episodes that we've had?
Why doesn't Matt Smith know this? When he turns up, when he's like, I thought the Ice Warriors were cool.
Yeah.
They're not cool? When do they stop being cool?
When do they stop being cool? That's a very good question. Or is it that they start being cool sometime in the year 3885, around about, and we haven't encountered them? As in, they start being cool long after. Maybe they start being cool after they join the Galactic Federation, and we only ever encounter them pre? No, that's not true either, because in Matt Smith times we get to see an Ice Warrior aboard a nuclear sub, right?
Yeah, so that was the one I was speaking of, but then maybe that is pre-3000 or whatever.
Yeah, but it's definitely post Queen of Mars.
Shit.
Right?
Well, so Queen of Mars can't be a prequel.
Well, Queen of Mars is a prequel because that's when Alpha Centauri and the Ice Warriors meet.
Yeah, so does that mean it takes... So...
Maybe they just don't form the Galactic Federation right away.
That's what I'm saying.
So it takes like centuries for them to do that.
That's the 19th century, and it takes a millennia. It takes like almost 2 millennia to join to make a Galactic Federation.
Maybe. I don't know, man. Either way, in this one, you're right. In this one, the Ice Warriors are the good guys.
They're at least neutral.
Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, I would say they are the moral pillars of this serial.
Fair enough, I want you.
Because, yeah, sure, they're...
Oh, actually, one of them does sort of sacrifice. They stay, don't they, for the best thing, because the Doctor saved Isilia.
Yeah, Islia, whatever.
Islia, there you go.
The other one, by the way, Sorn or whatever, yeah. Who plays him? Sonny Caldenas.
Oh, shit.
Kerching.
Sonny getting our work.
Our buddy Sonny.
Secure in the bag, Sonny.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
They were great. I really did enjoy them, and I actually through the whole thing felt warm for them from the start, because I assume if you're part of the delegation, you believe in the fucking, like, why would you come here just to? Why would you have created an entire federation just to slag it off? Yeah.
Then again, I mean, there's Arcturus, who's like a Gorgon head inside a lava lamp. That guy, he's a massive dirtbag. He's part of the Federation. He's 25% of the Federation as far as we're aware.
Federation's just a fucking treehouse. It's just a treehouse with like a pack of Watsons.
Here's my note. Delegate from Arcturus just destroys a vase. He's a diplomat.
Diplomats are always packing and they fucking hate vases. Yeah.
Okay, can I... This is just a small departure from the plot itself, I guess, and the characters. And there are a few characters and a few scenes that we definitely do need to get into, and we haven't yet.
Grand.
But, yeah, exactly. For example, and we haven't even talked about what's the monster of Agador? Whatever. In the beginning, they get out of the TARDIS and let the TARDIS fall down. Why? Would it not make sense? In the current iteration of the TARDIS, in New Who, and I feel... in William Hartnell's version of the TARDIS, if you were aboard the TARDIS and it fell off a cliff, which happened, by the way, on a number of occasions. It happened so often that on Who Back When, Flaps and I were deliberating, should we not create a list of the, quote, literal cliffhangers where they materialize on the edge of a cliff? At the very least, in the Romans, they materialize on a cliff edge. The TARDIS falls down. They are inside the TARDIS. And then it falls down clearly so far that, if it were just a wooden box, everyone would die. But because it's the TARDIS, yeah, they're a little shaken up, but they just climb out of it. It's fine. We get in New Who the same thing. Matt Smith's, the 11th hour, Matt Smith crashes his TARDIS, climbs out of it. Completely fine. But here, my heart was in my throat when they get out of the TARDIS and it falls down, it plummets down this cliff. I was just like, no, stay in it. Like, stay in the TARDIS, you will be safe, and then you can dematerialize.
It just annoys me, actually, because it's not like, I don't park my car on the edge of a cliff, right, get out, precariously watching, you go, oh, just don't fucking park there. You have literally the whole planet. There is a giant castle up there. What is your deal?
Yeah, also a good point.
Okay, other things.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
So it's the, what do we say, 3,800?
3,885. That's according to TARDIS Wiki.
This is like the least space age attire for like a race that are about to...
Why? Because King Peladon wears a giant set of labia and shorts?
Exactly. Is that what we do? Like, what is it? Why? And why are you still living in castles?
Because he's a king. This is it. He is Prince Charming. Obviously, he lives in a castle on a hill. It's a fairy tale, and that's why she is the princess and she falls in love with him. It is a fairy tale.
Any technology? Why would you introduce this backwards fucking ass, race of people
to the Galactic Federation?
They don't have any technology in this whole cereal.
Yeah, okay, here's a question for you. How did one human get all the way to Peladon?
That's fine. I'm fine with that. Because,
Right, sorry, because humans can travel.
humans can travel, but they fucking can't, seemingly.
No, they really can't. Do you know what my favorite piece of Peladonian technology is?
Go on.
It's that giant pencil that, what's his name, Herpes, the priest uses.
Hepesh.
Yeah. Herpes. To write something at the end. It's like, I mean, it's like forearm sized. It's like one of those giant novelty crayons that children have. It's like, we're going to write something. High tech.
I like to think of,
stuff.
of Hepesh as like a Greek Orthodox Cardinal Richelieu.
Who's more offended in that scenario?
I don't know, guys. You're going to have to find it out until one of you is the true religion.
That's my note from part 3. Herpes uses the biggest, least ergonomic pencil ever. On a number of occasions, actually, I'm just scouring my notes, on a number of occasions up until the very end. Up until, actually, it happened, I wrote something to the effect of, where are the human delegates? Have they just forgotten about the human delegates? I was completely convinced, up until the end, I was completely convinced that there are no human delegates. Like, this is something that they wrote in as an alibi, and then they just forgot about it.
Well, no, they...
And then at the end, it was fine. Yeah. Amazonia.
But I was more concerned about the idea, by the fact that it wasn't like a proper fucking committee of people. Like, there weren't more people. That was just weird. Why would you send 4? Like,
why are you sending? Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
4 people haven't decided anything. Like, the fucking Yalta conference was more than just FDR, Churchill, and freaking Eisenhower.
But I think it all depends on one thing. Yes. It all depends on one thing, which I don't think was ever decided in, the preamble to writing this script. And that is, what is the purpose of their visit? Are they there to convince Peladon to join? Are they there for just a ceremony? Are they there literally just to exchange some paperwork? Or is there something else to it? Like, is there a negotiation that's going to be part of this? We are never told.
I think it's just admittance. I think they're ruling on admittance.
Wait, so does that mean that they are on the fence? They are showing up there to have Peladon go, please let us join, and they then decide, well, you throw a pretty good talent show.
This is a really swanky castle. I mean, it's not as good as my palace in the sky because this is the 4th millennia and we can do that now.
Yeah, except you live in a Disney fairy tale. Yeah.
Those are some really sweet galoshes, dude. I have rocket boots.
We just showed up and you told us that someone, quote, died under mysterious circumstances, end quote. Probably safe to stick around.
I don't understand. I don't know why I'd want. If I was an ice warrior, I'd be like, nah, we're good without you guys.
Yeah. What has Peladon ever done for the rest of the galaxy?
What are you bringing to the fucking table?
Torches and secret passageways.
Not to go far right on this, but is Peladon essentially the Greece of the Galactic Federation?
Yeah. Peladon hasn't paid taxes for and lied about paying their taxes for about a decade, and and now Alpha Centauri's come to cash in.
I'm really sorry, I like 4 Greek religions.
Yeah, sorry about that. But you know what? Pay your taxes. So
absolutely not. Do not pay your taxes. Fuck these people. I don't really know what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not trying to be political about fuck it. Let's not get into that. Shall we talk about Grun? I have a question for you about Grun.
Is it why?
In your opinion, would you say that Grun has had ample time to perfect his communication skills?
So, this goes right back into what we were just talking about. Why have you got a champion? Why is that a thing you have?
Oh, because they're super primitive.
Why isn't he allowed a shirt? That's another thing.
Because he's the champion. He was super buff.
Why haven't you got him some sort of like speech therapist, occupational therapist, something that can help him overcome his crippling communication issues?
Oh, because this is a pre-therapeutic society where they haven't invented speech therapy yet.
And we keep people as like essentially for like fucking cockfighting.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up, son? I want to be a champion. Excellent. And what do you want to be when you grow up, son? I want to be a vocal coach. To the Agador! So, Grun makes no sense to me.
Grun makes no sense. He's a human Pokemon. Like, what the fuck? Just go, Grun. The fuck is his deal? Why doesn't he want more for himself?
Okay, so here's another thing that maybe is proof enough that Peladon should not be admitted into the Galactic Federation. They have trial by combat.
I didn't... yeah, like, and that's their slightly less barbaric. They were just like, all right, you're gonna have to die now. Well, the only other option is trial by combat.
Yeah.
And Grun's not on trial. What's his fucking... Why does he have to die?
It's because he is the champion. I had massive Game of Thrones vibes from this, because they've got trial by combat. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I fucking don't.
That's fucking amazing. Anyway, so in my notes, I've literally written, I've just scrolled to it, I wrote, Doc should just pull a Tyrion Lannister and get Gron to fight on his behalf. And then I find out he is fighting Gron. That's what's happening. Massive Game of Thrones. Anyway, love Game of Thrones. It's great. Dragons and tits. Anyway, and blood. It's my 3 favorite things.
I'm just going to leave you hanging out here, son.
Sorry. I'll cut half of that. Except I'll keep the bit where I say I'll cut half of that. And yet again, I've written, when are the real human delegates coming to Peladon? So trial by combat, the delegates are all there. They're witnessing this thing, including the one dude's head in a lava lamp who lasers, or tries to laser the Doctor, and possibly Gron as well. Did he think he was going to get away with it, by the way?
I don't know what his deal was, because I still don't necessarily think that's exactly what happened.
So what do you think happened?
I don't fucking know. That's my problem. But again, if you were writing this serial, you don't need a sleeper cell.
No, and
because the peril is that Peladon don't join the Federation, and that whoever is doing the sabotaging, whoever is the saboteur, might do something to affect the delegates that would spark intergalactic war.
You don't need a sleeper cell, I agree, but it doesn't hurt, because that then acts as a catalyst.
You always do with a sleeper cell, couldn't you? It's always just good to have one in the back pocket.
No, but for this narrative, it doesn't hurt, because that then acts as a catalyst for 2 different things. One that succeeds narratively, and that is someone sabotaged his lava lamp. And it turns out actually he was in on it all along. But for a while, that cast suspicion on the Doctor, right? Or on someone other than him anyway. But yeah, de facto the Doctor. And then another thing which completely bombs, and that's him whipping out his Netflix antenna and aiming it at the trial by combat, which should immediately disqualify them from entry anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I had a federated state of enlightened people, and I went to one of their like coronations, and they're like, hey, we'll work this paperwork out, just take a seat, we're just going to let these 2 kids fight to the death. I'd be like, cool, that's a hard pass from me. That's a hard pass. Would
you already have given a hard pass when you found out that they worship a horned beast god? And it seems to be the foundation of their entire religion.
No, I'm fine with that. I've got a Minotaur in my house.
Oh, okay, that's cool then. Yeah.
Front and center. No, I don't know. It's just all bullshit.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, we haven't talked about Agador though, about the actual horned beast.
Gone.
So there's one single horned beast.
Yep.
So wait, hang on. Let's backpedal a little bit. They have a religion that is based around a mythical creature.
Yes.
The Agador. This legendary, it's a fairy tale monster.
The Gruffalo.
Turns out it is 100% part of the local fauna. Because there are just these animals roaming the landscape outside the castle.
Again, this is the issue I had, because the Doctor's like, well, it's just an animal that, Hepesh is...
Yeah, he very easily just captured one of them.
And I'm like... where are your, fuck. This can't be the case. This can't be the case. There can't be loads of them.
No one else has ever seen them, by the way.
Or one of them, right? You haven't captured Nessie, or you're fucking...
Yeah.
Or there's loads of them and everyone just... when they're outside the castle, just shuts their eyes.
Yeah. Or they never go outside the castle. Or everyone...
shit outside the castle.
Okay, so a lot of the gods seem to be in on it. It's Herpes and a bunch of the gods. They are all in on it. They know exactly what's going on, right? Here's another question for you. Do we ever get to see anyone else in Peladon?
Nope. It's the king, Hepesh.
And I. Sorry.
His other advisor that got
the guy who gets boned right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? And then just like...
That's it.
Soldiers and Grun.
And Grun. Grun. What a dude.
Did Grun not mean grey in German?
That's grau.
Oh.
Maybe you're thinking grün.
Grün.
Grün, which is green. Another question for you. So, towards the end, Joe tells Peladon, listen, I'm not even a real princess. I lied about that whole thing. And he goes, that's fine. Oh, sorry, I didn't phrase that in the form of a question. Why does it not matter to him that she confesses that she's a fraud?
Because everything he said to her up to this point is just...
One-liners to get into her pants?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's just like, well, we need to save the galaxy, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not a princess. I'm not picky. I'm just a man standing in front of a girl wanting to bone her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Here's something we haven't talked about. Venusian Lullaby. This is the second time that we've heard the Venusian Lullaby.
Is to the tune of God Rest Ye
Merry Gentlemen. Yeah. We last heard the Venusian Lullaby in, what was it called? I want to say it's the first trip that they take in the TARDIS after he's been stranded on Earth. There are the colonists and there's the industrial...
Colony in Space.
Well done, thank you. I think it's Colony in Space. Is it that one or is it in Damon's? Oh, shit. All my memories...
It's definitely not in Damon's, but I can't remember anything about the Colony in Space.
I reckon it's Colony in Space then. Anyway, so we've heard him use the Venusian Lullaby.
Why does he
before.
give a shit about Venus so much?
I don't know, because it's a cool place, man.
Is it because
had
it sounds...
Aikido and lullabies.
Is it because it sounds like Venetian?
Yes. Venusian blinds. Yes, the annual Venusian Carnival. Yeah. Maybe that's... I don't know. I mean, it's fine. They've got Aikido and lullabies. I'm happy with it. It's good.
I guess. Those are the only two things that they've ever... Like, why is it everything so fucking Venusian? Why do you fuck off to Venus if you love it so damn much?
Hey, if you like Venus so much, marry it.
Exactly. Can't do that, Saturn. It's already got a ring.
Oh, nice. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Venusian Aikido in the Grun fight.
Yeah. I was expecting him to do the Vulcan neck pinch again, which he hasn't done in a while.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, he did that in Day of the Daleks, didn't he?
I quite liked the fight scene. Fight scene was cool.
Yeah, I liked it too.
So, S-Gamer got in touch.
Yeah?
About me saying how things are too James Bondy.
I read his reply. I read his comment.
So S-Gamer says that apparently Pertwee was in one of the intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
MI6, MI5.
Yeah, and a friend of Fleming's.
Yeah. So, and the creators, I guess, T-Dix, Barreletts, etc., just let him put in loads of spy shit.
Yeah, and you know what? Good choice, guys. Because he totally nails it.
So, real talk. So, this is another delegation of various parties. Is this better or worse than the last conference of delegates?
Wait, which one do you mean? Do you mean what, the human delegates in Day of the Daleks?
Exactly. We mentioned that at the time. We were like, wouldn't this be better if this was some sort of intergalactic?
Oh yeah,
delegation?
You know what? You're right. Yeah, this is better.
This is better.
So what this kind of reminds me of, even though morally it's the exact opposite, in the Daleks' master plan, they have. I can't remember what they were actually called. I referred to them as the Coalition of Kick-Ass at the time, and it's just like a whole bunch of aliens. Everyone's got an awesome costume, and they're like, yes, we are like Bond villains, and we will collaborate, and this is, we're a force for evil, and we're going to destroy everything. But in the back of your mind, you're looking at them, you're like, oh, look at those guys cooperate. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, evil. Item 1.
It's like, yeah, but there's a green alien, there's a blue alien, there's a purple alien, and they're all getting along. Isn't that lovely?
Religiously to the agenda points. AOEB.
AOBE?
AOEB.
AOEB?
Any other evil business.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, so in this one, so for the first time since then, in Classic Who, we have a whole bunch of alien dudes just collaborating. I think it's lovely. And I think it looks really nice on screen in the sense that it makes the universe, it makes the galaxy anyway. Sorry, I almost did a Terry Nation, isn't there? But, like, it makes the galaxy seem smaller, Everything's, it's more of a neighborhood. Like, people are getting along. I like the idea of there being a federation. Because Yeah, it's the Star Trek thing. It's like the Federation in Star Trek. You want there to be collaboration between all these different galaxies. So yeah, obviously, hands down, this smacks the shit out of the human delegates in Day of the Daleks.
Fair.
Okay, so I only have one more thing then.
Hit me.
Let's very appropriately end on a soundbite very close to the end of episode 4 of the serial. And it is when Amazonia, shitty name, when she shows up and she says this.
Telling you, my good fellow, I am the official Earth delegate.
But the Doctor is the accredited Earth delegate.
Doctor? What doctor? Doctor who?
So we get another one of those.
I like that.
I like it too. You know what? It's super cheesy. I like it.
And now it is time to rate this. Did we love or hate this? Bing bong, hey, la 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 la. Ratings.
Keeping it short and sweet. And in fact, I had prepared a rating for this beforehand. And what didn't happen this time is what always otherwise happens. Namely, somehow you managed to talk me down from that rating. I'm going to stay with my original rating. First off, motivating it. The Doctor is in top form. He even gets to see some action, as we just said. Jo starts off as this hapless girly girl, but she is literally presented as the princess, but then she turns into... She is the very clear agent, the protagonist of the serial, and she does a phenomenal job. And finally, we get to see her acting chops. It's good. Dave Troughton, excellent. In fact, all the actors, except perhaps for Grun, doing a fine job. Sorry, Grun. Skipper the Eye-Child could have done with a different voice, but I'm a big fan of the One-Eyed Trouser Snake. Ambassador Kosh, he was okay. This is, what's his name, Arcturus. Didn't really understand his role. We've already discussed this, but I liked him as a prop. I thought that was a really nice sci-fi touch, especially the, let's humidify his cranium a little bit. Overall, it's a tight little story. We didn't say this, it's a 4-episode arc. Perfect length for this, I think. Giving this 3.9.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.9. I like this story. I really like this one.
I agree with everything you said,
Yeah.
so I think that's low.
Oh, really? You're going higher than that?
I'm going higher.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
think this is better than Day of the Daleks.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm not so sure it is.
I think it is. I think for loads of reasons. Alpha Centauri is hilarious.
Yeah.
The Ice Warrior is presented as a good or at least minimally morally neutral force. Is wicked because that shows the expansiveness of the Hooniverse.
Yeah.
That, Klingons aren't Klingons forever, essentially. They've got other shit going on, which is great.
Yeah.
Love the community. I love the allegory to real life political stuff. Katie Manning was fucking amazing.
She was.
Amazing. And Pertwee Nikita the shit out of some dude.
Yeah, he did.
All good stuff. And fucking, Bowie, Christopher Walken, Skunk Stripe King is amazing. The plot, I guess, is a bit weaker. There's not really what I consider proper peril, but I guess maybe not everything needs proper peril. Maybe things are just possibly, just preventing a tinderbox. Anyway, for those reasons, I give it a 4.3.
Wow, 4.3? You gave Day of the Daleks... We both gave Day of the Daleks 4.0. Yeah, exactly. So, for me, Day of the Daleks is only moderately better than this, and that's solely because of, using time travel as an actual plot element. And I think that's fantastic.
I was a bigger fan of the political drama aspect.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair. I would argue the political drama aspect of this was not exactly fleshed out enough, but... But that's fine. Okay. Awesome. Listener minis. Okie dokie. So, we have a few listener minis. First off, this one comes from SGamer82. Steven.
How you doing, Steve?
Hello, Steven. I've missed doing that song. Stephen goes, TV Tropes calls this serial the one with a talking dildo alien. Back when Jo was first introduced, I made a note to you guys to keep 2 episodes in mind in the future. This is the first of them. Specifically, I wonder if you took note of the scene where Jo ruins the Doctor's attempt to hypnotize the Agador and how it contrasts with how she ruined his experiments on that first meeting. Okay. I hadn't considered that comparison. I did make a note, actually, of how she effed up his hypnosis experiments, but yeah, no, that's a good point. All right, anyway, go for it.
The serial has many good moments for Jo, I think, such as her picking up on the Doctor's ploy and acting the part of the princess, and her moments as she tries and fails to understand the King's motivations and actions. The Doctor is also awesome, as we see the rare occurrence outside of Pertwee of him fighting an enemy in actual combat. I'm a sucker for stories with intrigue, so Peladon delivers nicely on that respect, as the mystery of who is sabotaging the delegates and why unfolds. A nice touch was the use of the Ice Warriors as red herrings.
On the downside, the issue with the priest reminds me of similar science versus religion stories we've had, like the Underwater Menace. Very nice point. And I can't say I enjoyed that particular retread. We also had a retread of the Doctors impersonating an unexpected official, as he did in The Power of the Daleks. I enjoyed watching the Doctor save the planet of the skunk stripes. I give the Curse of Peladon a score of 3.9. Boom.
Nice.
If this weren't attached to a tripod, Stephen, I would drop the mic. Nice one. Very nice. Fantastic reference to both Underwater Menace and Power of the Daleks. Really, yeah, it is super relevant. Thank you very much for sending that in, Stephen. Ladies and gentlemen of Podcast Land who are not Stephen, first off, don't worry about it. Nobody's perfect. Secondly, you can do the next best thing to being Stephen. You can follow him on Twitter. He is at sgamer82. That is 82, the number.
Next up, Peter Zunich.
Zunich!
How you doing?
Hello, Peter.
Peter writes, let's face it, any Doctor Who story that has a castle in it tends to be rather good. The story is a perfect example. Thanks much to the directing, Peladon is an instantly engaging world, and its well-rounded mythos only leaves us wanting to know more. Katie Manning is paired well with both King Peladon and the Ice Warriors, and is finally giving some scenes where she can show her acting skills. The Doctor immediately suspecting the Ice Warriors of wrongdoing is a great bit of misdirection that only becomes more relevant in the future. They are the driving force of good in this episode, and it changes the opinion of them going forward. What indeed can we say of Alpha Centauri?
At best, this iconic Doctor Who monster, arguably for the wrong reasons, was an insanely ambitious concept whose full potential was just never going to be realized on a shoestring budget. It's a shame, as I believe as a character it worked well. It would be interesting to see a modern CG version. The Unctorian delegate, on the other hand, would have been better realized had he been portrayed by an actor in makeup. As for Agador, laugh if you like, but I think he was a rather fine creation and was acted well. I look forward to next season when we return to continue the story started here. It truly is a shame that historically, one high-pitched voice and a design that didn't work overshadowed such a memorable story. Until next time, Naroon, 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 poof, you're a cuddly bear. 4.1.
Close to me.
It is, yeah. Nice one. Awesome. Thank you very much for sending that in. Bing bong, Future Ponkin here again. We actually received 3 more mini reviews after we recorded all that. And there's even one more coming up after this Future Punk segment, sort of. And before I read them out, I just want to preface this by saying we recorded this review about a week earlier than we normally do. It was a bit ad hoc, and I didn't announce in advance on Twitter or Facebook when the cutoff point for mini reviews was, so that's my bad. I'm sorry about that. Henceforth, unless we announce otherwise on social media, and we will try to get better at doing that in advance, I think it's safe to assume that the deadline for sending in a mini review and getting it read out on the show is the Wednesday before the Sunday when the episode drops. Because this time I coincidentally still have the recording kit up and running, but I most often pack it all away after we record, and I'm less inclined to assemble everything. I'm only bringing this up because one of the mini reviews that I'm about to read out, I literally got about 20 minutes ago. And this episode drops in about an hour. So, yeah. Anyway, blurg. Sorry for the boring fine print. Okay, let's take a look at these mini reviews. First up, this one comes from Trenton Bless. Hello, Trenton. Trenton writes, the phrase diplomatic nightmare was surely invented for Brian Hale's exciting, elegant 4-parter, which rolled a monster gallery, a whodunit, and a romance into one. A veiled comment on Britain's entry into the common market broadened its appeal and gave it the kind of added dimension that can only boost a story's value. I mean, the look of this serial was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, the sets looked good, the Ice Warriors were well done, and I really liked Jo in this story. So wonderful was it all. We've had a carnival of creatures before in Mission to the Unknown, but here cast and crew strive to make them all a bit different and invest them with distinct personalities. Alpha Centauri is a twittering ninny, Arcturus a life support assisted schemer with a voice like the Formash, Get Smash robots. I don't get that reference, but okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it. And the Pels themselves, a mixture of very human traits. For an unsurprising architect of chaos, Hepesh is at least well structured in terms of motive. Overall, Trenton concludes, this serial is wonderful. I can't stop using that word with this one, can I? Wonderful. So with a wonderful story like this, it gets an easy 4.0. I mean, I'm sure you gave it a 4.0 as well, if at least not something close to it. Holy smokes, Trenton. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out and bet on some horses or something, because clearly your predictions are spot on. Yes, you're right. And I really agree with you. It's a very nice mini. Thank you for sending that in. Ladies and gents, you can follow Trenton on Twitter. He is at Trenton Bless. That's Bless with 2 S's. Next up, we've got Matthew Dennison. Hello, Matthew. Welcome back to the world of mini reviews. Matt says, I hope you don't mind if I call you Matt, do you? Alright, cool. Sorry, very presumptuous of me. Matt says, Doctor Who doesn't often do current affairs or political satire, so this take on the UK joining the EEC makes for an interesting and topical episode. It's flawed, but overall I liked it. Pertwee is typically great, whether he's easily assuming the role of chairman, kicking Grun's ass, or serenading a cuddly bear. Jo has more to do than usual, although her rescuing the Doctor from Agador when he clearly has everything under control is a bit dumb. Yeah, agreed. The supporting characters are pretty good. The King is, in Jo's word, a wet fish, but at least he's a well-acted one. And I like that all of the delegates have distinct characters. The Doctor's initial distrust of the Ice Warriors could have been more explored, though. There are quite a few plot holes, most notably, what stops the Doctor saying, come on, I'll show you the secret tunnels right now. Yeah, that's super true. Matthew goes on. Also, the Federation seems quite slapdash. The delegates have no idea about customs on each other's planets, what the other delegates look like, what they are called, or even how many of them will be attending. Good point. Wouldn't catering need to know that in advance? Although perhaps British negotiators just show up in Brussels and begin talks with the first foreigner they meet. Probably, possibly, maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not British. And while it bugged me at first, Jo decisively telling the delegates that they have no power to cancel a mission makes sense in this context. They probably don't know themselves what the rules are, so just agree with her. Still, it's 4 enjoyable episodes without much padding. Spoiler, you will see 6 episodes on Peladon later. It drags. I'll give it a 3.0. Oh, wow. All right. 3.0. It's really interesting because so far, at least, and there's one more to come, so far, all of you guys, and Nick, and I, we're kind of saying the same things, but point-wise, where, you know, it's a fairly broad range. We're between, 3 and 4.3 so far. Yeah, no, it's good. Matthew, love the mini. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. Next up, this one comes from Arthur, who actually in his email clarified how one pronounces his surname. The last time he sent something in, we were struggling. We were going like, fucksake? And it turns out you pronounce it fuck's sake. So, sorry, I should have seen that one coming. So, this one, I should say this is just about half of Arthur's mini review because it's slightly on the maxi side. Again, 250 words, that's the limit. Arthur says, apparently, the basis of this serial was inspired by Great Britain's accession to the common market, which was a highly topical and controversial topic at the time. A kind of reverse Brexit for any younger listeners. This being the case, it is interesting to note the initial mistrust towards the Ice Warriors, even on behalf of the Doctor himself, that slowly gives way to reveal them to actually become Earth's closest allies. However, if the scriptwriter's intention was to try and convince viewers to treat, quote, foreigners, because let's face it, this was the main issue at the time, with less suspicion, then I hardly think that introducing a traitor within their midst was possibly the best plot device. It's a very fair observation, Arthur. Okay. Arthur goes on, great acting skills displayed throughout by Troughton, although a little too theatrical in places for my liking. In fact, the character of the King did come across as rather naive and helpless too often throughout the serial. Loved the Hammer-style castle setting, and the introduction of multiple alien cultures was quite interesting, even though a couple of these were a bit silly, but enjoyable nevertheless. My score for this, therefore, has to be a solid 3.0. Not a classic in my opinion, but well above average. Holy smokes, that's the second 3.0 in a row. Awesome. Arthur, thank you very much for sending that in. Okie dokie, let's get back to the show, where more of this awaits. Okay, ciao. Bing bong. We also got a fantastic maxi review from Paul Forber. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
However, as before, as it is a maxi review, and we're going to have to reiterate the rules here just to be super duper clear, we're not going to do it here on the air, as it were, but you can go to, and we thoroughly encourage you to go to whobackwhen.com and read his maxi review in its full splendor. Here are the rules, basically.
Just to be able to give everyone enough airtime, we're going to just keep it to 250 words and a hopefully a numerical rating if you can muster one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everyone's going to appear on the website, so definitely go check those out.
Yeah. Just to clarify, if you send us more than 250 words, if there's a very clear way for us to just break up 250 words to read out on the show, we will happily do that. But otherwise, we will just read out your rating or just pop it on the website.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And do please keep them coming. We love reading them. Next up, what have we got, dude?
In Classic Who, we have the Sea Devils.
Damn right we do. Oh, I am super excited by that. I don't think I've seen... No, actually, I can tell you for certain. I have not seen it, but I have seen stills from it, and I know what a sea devil looks like, and I am super duper looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. On the New Who front, we have Matt Smith.
The 11th Hour.
The 11th Hour. We're starting with Matt Smith's run, and I'm super duper excited about that as well. I recently rewatched it. Love the 11th Hour. People can follow you on Twitter, can they not?
They can, at Nicolele.
Yes, they can. You can follow me as well. High five me online, and I'll high five you right back. I'm at Punkin. Thank you so much for listening. Be rad and excellent to each other. Rock on. And ciao.
Bye.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account. No lie. So give us a follow. You guessed it. That's at Who Back When. All in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make no sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next Classic Who review, New Who review, or, still funny, Audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?
Doop 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 doop.